Don't die.
Mission Pro Wrestling, the symbol of excellence in women's sports entertainment.
Hey, good evening. Happy Thursday, everybody. I am Mindrunner, and this is Mission Pro Spotlight, uplifting women's wrestling all around the globe and showcasing the best in women's talent from all up on high to the E and the dub, all the way to your local indie show. We're lifting up women's wrestling across the globe. I'm super excited because my guest at this time the Black Dahlia in the house. What is up, Black Dahlia? How you doing?
My goodness. Well, first off, guys, off air, he's like, let me know what you think of the intro. That was the first I watched that just as you guys watched that intro. I love that. Thank you so much. Can I keep that?
Absolutely. I'll send it to you. It is yours. Use it as your entrance, whatever, what have you.
Lovely. Until I can get some highlight reels of my matches, I'll probably use that for some of my promos. I love it.
Awesome. I'm glad you loved it. And, I wanted to kind of get that metal horror vibe. I know you've been working on, I don't know if you finished, but I'm sure you'll tell us about it, that you're working on a horror movie yourself as well. Is that true?
Yeah, that is true. Actually, quite a few films. Let's see. I think there's as of now, I've signed on to 5 movies to film this year. And we just finished one. Nathaniel helped me. Whoop ass. We just filmed with Ken Anderson, Mr. Kennedy. And hopefully they're raising funds to complete the whole big project. And basically, I'm allowed to say which character I'm going to be, right? Yeah. Or I don't know. Okay, so basically in Whoop Ass, it's based upon this guy are we live right now?
We are live, by the way. We are live. We've got comments in the chat already.
Oh my God. Okay, I am legally allowed to talk about. Okay, so guys, check out Whoop Ass, and basically, I believe I am the antagonist girl. Originally, I think I was supposed to be the babyface girlfriend, but I think I'm now the ex-girlfriend. I might be causing some problems.
I have no idea how you were able to be cast as the heel, because you're such a babyface. I'm sure.
Are you messing with me right now? Or are you
a little bit, because there's blurred by, and we're gonna get to why that some people may feel a little bit intimidated around you, but we'll get to that in just a moment.
That is so rude. I show up and I'm like, okay, I'm like the babyface girl. I get casted as the babyface girl, and then they're like, wait a minute, no, you're the heel, and I'm like, no.
I want to be do you want to be the final girl? Is the role to get, in any horror film.
Okay, so just me as Paige, as just me as the actor, as just this nerd that loves Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. Yeah. I always went for the final girl, and I always wanted to be that role, but I always would get casted as the other girl that, of course,
the girl that gets hatchet.
Yeah, the girl that maybe will probably be on the poster, which we love the girls on the posters. Think about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the OG, Pam. Think about it. All iconic shots is not of Sally, the final girl. It's actually a Pam. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the shot of the meat hook where he's putting the girl on the meat hook, that's Pam. The shot of a girl walking to the house and it's a shot of her back, that's Pam. And then
Yep.
the other iconic shot of running from the house and Leatherface grabbing her from the midsection and pulling her back to the house,
Yep.
that's Pam.
That's the money shot. And that's what people remember. Why do you think though?
So I might not be the final girl, dang it. But listen here, I'm the Pam of the story.
I think it's fascinating though the parallels with wrestling and horror. I have a friend of ours that's going to be coming on the show down the pike when her film is finished. But Playmate of the Year, Corinna Harney Jones, she was she's in a movie, and I can't really spoil the details, but it mixes wrestling with horror. And I just wonder, I wonder how.
One of the films
Yeah.
I'm filming this year, and it's going to be on Tubi, is actually like Wrestle Massacre, and it's part 2. And I actually am I allowed to say who I am in it? I think so. Yeah. So basically, I'm the hot goth chick, and
Nice.
I might be the final girl. Dang it! Who knows? We'll see.
How does that character parallel to the Black Dahlia, the character the persona that you?
Oh my God!
That you
yes.
represent?
So the cool thing is actually, I've already spoke to the director about it. But when we start filming this project and finish wrapping up this summer, I'm gonna actually pitch this idea because it kind of mirror images my real life, let alone the Dahlia. So.
Mm-hmm.
So my character, where she has an OnlyFans page and she's running off with her boyfriend to go and like possibly film content and stuff, that kind of mirrors my life because I have my OnlyFans, and I mean I don't film that kind of content, no, but
yeah,
she's like goth, and I am obsessed with like 90s goth, and so I'm going to pitch the idea of just like maybe switching the character's name to Dahlia and just making her maybe some goth chick that's obsessed with the Black Dahlia murder. And I'm just going to make the whole entire character about me.
You could totally tie it in, and then tie it in with any upcoming matches where you and Evil Nate show up. You know, it's like the Dahlia's going to be there in person. Yeah. So absolutely. And you could also
cool. So the cool thing is about this movie, it's so the killer is killing people, but by giving them wrestling moves.
Wow!
And
so,
I might be the final girl, but one of the things also I like to pitch is possibly if my character takes a certain move, possibly it might be my actual finisher in real life. So maybe I'll pitch that if my character dies.
Nice. Hey, that's marketing.
The backstabber.
The backstabber. I got it. Now we to get everybody to get to know you a little bit better, we have an awesome segment on Mission Pro Spotlight called Insta Insanity, and it's totally not a ripoff on Sean Evans' Hot Ones, but ladies and gentlemen, let's get to it with the Black Dahlia. Let's do some Insta Insanity.
Welcome! It's Insta Insanity!
All right, these are from your Instagram. These are some of the most unique pictures I found that I know there's a story behind them, and we want to hear the story from you. All right,
I'm so nervous. Why does this scare me?
It shouldn't scare you. These are all tasteful pictures, by the way. You know.
Okay, good. Maybe that's what I was scared of, but I don't know. Okay, go on.
All right, here we go. The first picture we have. I want to hear the story. This is actually a video still.
That's not a photo, you son of a gun. Chuck Golly, I don't think I can cuss on this podcast.
Oh, no, but this is awesome. I mean, I thought you'd be down with this. It looks pretty cool.
Dude, it looks like I'm having an orgasm. Like, what the heck?
Oh, I didn't think that, but I was really impressed. This was a promo that you and Evil Nate were cutting. And it's kind of...
Yeah, okay, Nathaniel really quick. Gosh darn it, like my phone's blowing up. All right.
Uh-oh.
So, no. Okay, so I have been out on injury for a very long time. I'm out of practice with promos, right? Okay, so
Okay.
I'm like just I'm a little rusty. Well, this hillbilly mother effer, you know, like you mother trucker, this guy is a one-take promo. And it gets worse. And besides, like perhaps a couple catchphrases, like an opener and closer, and then also the highlights of, okay, this is the match, this is my opponent, this is the time and date of the show, this is the location, whatever. Besides those basics, the rest is ad-lib. The rest is like improv. And so Nathaniel is an artist, I swear. And when he puts his mind to it, he's probably the best promo, I dare say, on the indies.
That's awesome.
Like, I'm telling you, once this kid gets a little rust off him this summer and really, like, pushes, he's TV worthy. Like, his promo abilities, I swear. So, back to me. I'm rusty, and I'm more of a macho man style person. Like, I like to go. Yeah, Nathaniel, give us a macho man impression. You can't right now. Remind us. Hey, everyone, before this podcast is over, remind us to have Nathaniel give his macho man impression.
We need Nathaniel to snap it to a Slim Jim. Oh, yeah.
Yes. All right, guys. Remember. So anyway, so complete polar opposites. I'm more. I love dialogue, and I don't get me wrong. I would love to do improv as long as I understand my character.
Yeah.
I'm rusty. Who is the Black Dahlia? Who is the Chainsaw Queen?
Maybe your movies, the character that you're going to play in the movie will help with that a little bit too. You know, there's that.
Yeah. Getting some rust off being in these movies is definitely helping with my promo. But so that screen grab right there. Oh my goodness. So Nathaniel's trying to do these in one take, and I'm just like, no pressure.
No pressure at all.
To be fair, with these promos, I think we've done 3-4 of them now. I think we've done 4 of them now, and the most takes I think is like 3. Yeah. So I'm almost.
Hey, that's good practice. That's good.
Yeah.
At least you're not Sid Vicious going, let me do this again. You know.
I love promo. I have a theater background, and I actually went and auditioned for the New York Film Academy and got accepted.
Oh, congratulations. Nice.
Thanks. But I didn't go because I ended up saying, you know what, I really want to commit to wrestling, and I started training as a wrestler. And
we definitely want to talk about that journey, because there's a photo I think is going to begin that story.
Supposed to be really fast? Wasn't this?
No, it does. No. This is to get to know you. This is This is the story behind it. And I just was a lot of people are really liking the vest, and I think that's a pork chop or somebody's face on top of you.
Okay, so listen, don't be disrespectful. Ew, rude. So I have a full luchador style mask, and I would love to explain the gimmick actually. So I have multiple different masks, but to pay homage to my theater background, and then also the Black Dahlia, where in real life she was Elizabeth Short, and she was an actor, God rest her soul. I wanted to pay homage to the acting side and make Phantom of the Opera.
I was gonna say yes. That's a meat mask, Phantom of the Opera. That's brilliant.
So I do have my wrestling masks, but then I also have my ballet masks that are Phantom of the Opera style. But let me.
That's tremendous.
Can I? You know what? I'll get into the gimmick in a minute, but it actually is not Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it shocks a lot of people. But let's do this photo stuff.
All right, let's go to the next photo. But I don't know if you know Tommy from CCG. He's a huge fan of yours. He met you a long time ago. He's super excited that you're here. Tommy, you'll meet him if you go on June 15th. you might see Tommy at the event because he's notorious for sitting front row and being Mr. Peanut Gallery. He definitely doesn't hold back. He's very entertaining. So
Well,
shout out to Tommy.
like we discussed off the camera, of course, so we can't like talk about certain things, but I definitely am excited to be back in Texas next month.
That's going to be awesome. Very cool. Very cool. And you definitely, they say you sure can hear him. And he's a huge fan. All right, let's go to the next slide here.
Yes.
Do not be intimidated by the size. It's not the size of the chainsaw that matters. It's how she uses it.
Okay, so this is the Excalibur. She's actually right behind me.
Wow.
So she is
bigger than you.
She's like the same height as me. I'm actually very short. When the fans meet me in person, they're if I'm not wearing my golf boots, they notice that I'm barely 5 foot. But the Excalibur, she's a chrome chainsaw and she's an exact replica. Oh, okay. She's a Stihl 034. I didn't know that. Thanks. And she's an exact replica of Chainsaw 3. And we're actually friends with Leatherface himself, R.A. Mahoff. And whenever he's local doing cons, he gets us in these cons for free. And we get to be his entourage. And we just let him use our chainsaw for his photo ops. It's awesome.
Oh, that's so cool. That is rad.
It's like, it's so cool to say, hey, I'm friends with Leatherface, and he gets you in the VIP section, and you get to hang out with all these celebrities, and it's like, hey, I'm in this low-budget horror movie. Hi.
We got to get you in a Rob Zombie video or something at some point. We got to get you in, Nate. Or Nathaniel. Sorry. He's changing it to the evil Nathaniel.
Should I tell him? You could call him Evil Nate. Sorry, his shoot's Nathaniel. Sorry.
Okay, all good.
Should I tell him? All right, so, we're going to go into that. So, actually, this little girl right here, she got offered a part in a Rob Zombie music video, and she ended up throwing up, and, because I was battling, this was like a year or two prior than this photo, but I was battling, trigger warning, guys. I was battling bulimia and anorexia. So I had severe body dysmorphia, and I felt like I was especially with my hourglass, even though I was super little. I felt like I was too fat for a Rob Zombie music video because he's like super skinny and his wife's super skinny. And I was like, man, I have hips, I have a butt, and I'm just like, I don't think I fit this mold. And so I actually didn't go to the music video. But it's funny that you mentioned that.
Well,
maybe
it's interesting.
One day I'll redeem myself and be in one of his videos.
How has that, though, motivated you to not, like, going forward with future opportunities? Because I found when I've, like, something I regretted not doing has motivated me in the future to just seize it when those future opportunities.
It's so great that you're highlighting that, actually, and not just brushing it off. Unfortunately, to this day, I still struggle with it. Like, as in, I still miss out on opportunities. Like, where I struggle with body dysmorphia, and you got to think, I'm sick with my illness, CRPS, and of course, we'll get to talk about that later on. But spending your life in a wheelchair for so long, and then battling a sickness that's non-curable. My body dysmorphia went out the roof, so and then my imposter syndrome. So when one of my girlfriends reaches out and is like, hey, I have these 2 hot girls that are like Playboy models, and they have these Ferraris lined up, and they need a 3rd model, like it's all paid for, and this is a huge opportunity, and then I turn it down. Like, it's just like, it's one of those things that I still struggle with to this day, but I've been working on it. And if you've noticed, for like a year now, basically ever since I got diagnosed, it's helped my mental health to a point of, hey, I'm going to try this again, So I started making appearances again and started I started doing these cons. I'm
That's
starting
great.
to ballet again, and then I'll start to wrestle again. So it's baby steps for my mental health and also for my
Absolutely.
physical health. But to answer that question is I'm still working on it, but I definitely believe people need to jump on these opportunities when they're given. Definitely stop saying, no to things if you feel like an imposter. Stop saying
Yeah.
no to things if you feel like there's someone better than you. No, they're asking you for a reason and you're worthy. And you know what? I'll talk about it. When I was at WrestleMania, during WrestleMania weekend, what was it? WrestleCon. I was booked, and where I've been out of wrestling for so long, and where I haven't been able to be wrestling I haven't been able to take bookings for years, and I haven't been grinding for years. Like, I've been
Yeah.
sick, and even though it's valid, and I'm sick, and I was in a wheelchair, it still makes me feel like, why me?
Yeah.
So my sickness makes me throw up, and I dead ass projectile vomited right in front of our table. I was sitting right next to Marty Jannetty, for goodness sakes. And
Well, that leads to our next question. This picture right here, by the way.
oh, we can go back to the homeless one in a minute. Yeah, so there's Marty. So that's us in our vehicle. We left the hotel, and we were on our way to WrestleCon, and I was actually telling him right there in the vehicle. I filmed it, and I told him, I was like, man, I'm dealing with imposter syndrome. There's so many people that I
Mhm.
feel like should be booked and not me. And then he's like, honey, you're booked for a reason. You're here.
Yes.
You're worthy. And I'm like, I feel like the ugliest, fattest, unworthiest person in the world. Like, and then people don't get it. Like, people look at me and they're like, oh, you're pretty. You have a pretty face. Or they look at me and they go, oh, you have a hot body. Or, oh, they look at me and they're like, oh, you have it all. And it's like, no, you guys don't get it. Like, with my sickness of CRPS, it does trigger depression and anxiety. And
Hmm.
unfortunately, with it, the way it's explained on a scale is my depression is 5 times worse than normal depression, or to do something, it takes me 5 times the amount of energy to do like a normal person, like, because I'm sick.
Yeah.
So like, to breathe, it takes me 5 times more effort. To get up out of bed or to walk, it takes me, God bless it. Can you hear that? I am so sorry. I got blown up. um
Well, let's get into it. I mean,
Oh, you ready for it?
let's
Oh
get
my
into it
God,
because
I'm
we
gonna
can talk.
cry. Can we go back to the homeless part? That's less traumatic. Let's go back
Well,
to my other trauma.
well, here's
Ah!
the well, we can go back to that too, but I want to get this out there because this is
Yes.
something that I've only vaguely heard of in passing
Oh,
until
you just
until
want me
doing
to?
some research with on you. I didn't realize the severity of what it's the official term is it's CRPS, right? Chronic.
Complex regional pain syndrome.
And so if you don't mind, and by the way, our own Pepe in the chat, he's recovering from a leg injury, and he loves scars. He digs scars. So that's
Oh,
but
scars are triggering for me, but
yeah,
okay. So 1 minute. Sorry. So someone was texting me.
all good.
All right, so this is actually very serious, and I'm trying not to cry and then get distracted. But okay, guys, this is like, this is
What
it. This
I
is it. This is honestly, like, this is. Let me set this down. So, ever since I've been diagnosed, like, oh, I'm not trying to get all spiritual and stuff, guys, but
be you.
ever since being diagnosed, I've had this knowing feeling, this voice, this whether it's angels or maybe I don't know, but this is what I'm meant to do, and I understand it, and what I'm meant to do
Hmm.
is what I'm about to do. And so here it is. I have CRPS, and complex regional pain syndrome is the most painful pain a human can feel. And you guys might look at me and say, oh, she's a cute, young, healthy girl. But in fact, I'm the sickest person you could ever meet. And it seems blasphemous. It seems laughable because we all know people. And if you look at the chart right in front of us,
Yeah.
everything listed there, we know people that are right now suffering and have passed away and have battled these things listed. So when you see me, you're like, no, I lost my grandmother to one of those. How dare you? Or no, my wife right now is suffering with that and dying. How dare you? And if you actually look at this chart, I am at the very top of the list.
Yeah, you're above unprepared childbirth and kidney stones. I mean,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I just, guys, I just actually posted another version of this chart to better explain things. But if you guys go check out my Instagram, what I was just saying is what I feel like my destiny is to unfortunately have this sickness and then to bring awareness to it. And
Yes.
what I mean by this, guys, is this disease is unknown. And this is what's scary about it. It is A, unknown. B, think of it, it's cancer of the nervous system, but it is far worse than cancer. So blasphemous, but this is what doctors and scientists that are studying this are saying.
Well,
so when you hear cancer, everyone knows of someone that's had cancer or died of cancer, or we've heard of the big C.
Yeah.
But my sickness is labeled worse than it, and we have never heard of it. This needs to be big.
You wonder how many people are out there that are suffering that haven't been diagnosed.
And that's the thing, guys, and that brings me to number 3. It is nicknamed the suicide disease. That's how bad this is. It is nicknamed the suicide disease because all of us that are suffering with this, and I can attest to this, but we would rather die than feel this for another second. What I'm feeling right now and talking to you, people are killing themselves to escape it. We are having surgeries. Say it's in your hand. My brothers and sisters with CRPS are amputating their arms. They're begging doctors, cut it off, I don't want to feel it. But this is the thing. This is what's so hard. I'm educating people on what CRPS is that don't know it. But then I also have to turn over here, and my brothers and sisters with CRPS, I have to help them too, because it's a sickness of the nervous system. It's not in our hand. It's the nervous system. And what is happening is we're chopping off our limbs, but then it spreads and it activates in other parts of our bodies.
Well, I think this is I can't imagine the pain. And really quickly, I just want to touch on you made a comment earlier that people, when they see you, they don't realize the pain you're in. Well, look at people like, look at Robin Williams. People thought Robin Williams, they didn't see the pain he had inside. Now his his was more mental, like a mental health issue.
Yeah,
but
depression. And also CRPS, it makes everything 5 times worse. So I have depression, so then my CRPS makes it that much worse. I have anxiety, so then it makes it that much worse. I can get angry, but it makes my anger that much worse. So with the pain, people can look at me and say, and then if you look at the charts, a woman in childbirth without any medicine, that's one of the most painful pains a person could feel. And I'm sitting here in more pain than that. And you're like, wait, it's like, how are you?
Well, the chat is definitely wishing you the best here. Courtney wants to give you a hug. You know,
Oh, thanks. Give me
everybody's
a
really
hug when
feeling
I
for you.
see you.
And this might be a great, like, I host a mental health podcast, but I mean, we talk about depression and real
I'd
physical
love
things.
to join. I'd
So-
love to watch and join. It's well, okay. So there's better words to describe. Why did you go to something funny? Why did you go to something
Well,
funny?
we'll continue. I definitely want to talk more about that, and we could probably tie that out as a separate podcast on Mental Health Mondays. But I need to. I'm dying to know the explanation behind this picture.
I'm a pervert and season's greetings.
Yeah. Well, by the way, your story is very powerful. A lot of people are feeling that, so we will stay tuned, everybody, for that. But now
Yeah,
everybody's
guys, tell someone about CRPS.
yes.
Go to Netflix. There's multiple different stories. I think this if you go to Netflix, don't forget Maya or something. It tells a story about a little girl that has it, and there's no cure, guys. There's no cure, and it spreads. And I'm trying to wrestle with this sickness. So I quite literally got out of a wheelchair, taught myself how to walk again without any pain pills, just to wrestle. So
that's such an inspiration, kid, that you don't let something even as severe as this stop you from your dreams. And now look at you. And
I'm walking again. I'm standing again. I still don't take any pain pills. Not that it's a bad thing. People that take them, you guys are valid. But I have battled. My story is to tell. God, I can't say this with that photo. God.
There you go. I took it off. There you go.
Guys, just to cap on what we were saying is, God bless it. So basically, guys, CRPS, there is no cure, and people are dying every day. Whether this is scary. This is something that you would think it's on a Marvel or DC movie, and I went 7 years without being diagnosed. Wrestling, I got hurt. I got hurt out at LA when I was training under Rikishi. I was hurt, tore my ligaments. That injury activated the nerves, and I am now sick the rest of my life. But the story is, I went so long battling this without any pain pills, without any medicine. And in better terms, my doctor asked me, how are you still alive?
Wow.
Because people that get diagnosed with this get put on pain pills, and they still kill themselves. So when I organically was battling this for 7 years undiagnosed, they're like, how did you survive this? And how did you teach yourself how to walk again? How did you do this? How did you do that? You work a full-time job. How are you? You're weight training. You're going to be a wrestler again. How are you doing this? And I'm like, I don't know.
I wanted to. Yeah, exactly. But on the serious note, though, that's an inspiration. That is truly to overcome all of that.
It's crazy. I didn't ask for this. I don't want to be an inspiration. I don't want to be this spiritual person. I don't. I mean, I'm sick the rest of my life. I've missed out on so many years of fun and laughter and playing and like wrestling. I've missed out on so much, and I'm sick and I'm dying and I'm scared, but I hope to wrestle before I die.
Well, we hope we need you. The world needs the Black Dahlia. Mission Pro needs it, and we need you in our life. This is let's continue this on my mental health podcast another time, because there's so much. There's so much to talk about, but and I don't want to diminish. I'm not trying to diminish your story, because I think I'm fascinated. I think we could talk at least another hour about it on my mental health podcast. But I will say I do want to know, training with Rikishi, did you ever have to take the stink face?
No, but he did give me he did give me the blessing to do it, because I showed him screenshots of fans saying that, of course, they wanted to take a stink face from me, and then of course fans asking, is that going to be something I'm going to do? because, you know, I have a booty. And then
Yeah.
others, you know, even take it further and say, hey, where you got trained by him, is that something you're going to do? So I asked him, and he said, yeah, do it.
Yeah, but your stink face will smell like roses. Let's be honest. Come on. Right?
Obviously, I mean, if I fart, it smells like lilacs.
Of course. Of course.
Duh.
Well, I'm really excited for you, and I'm excited for your future, and Evil Nate as well. I'm excited for what
Yes,
you've
thank you
got
for
going on.
mentioning him. He's a great guy, and also he's, on a personal note, he is my caregiver. He is my best friend, and he helped me get out of that wheelchair. And he was there when I was. He trained at Rikishi's. He trained at Funaki's. He was there homeless. He was there sleeping out of the vehicle. He did it all too.
That's fantastic. And that's the people. That's a lot of times too. People don't realize the sacrifices that a lot of artists make for their
Let's talk
craft.
about it. Like,
Yeah.
what do you want to know?
Well,
Like, there is so much that we sacrifice, guys. It's insane.
the living in your van for 2 years.
Yeah, that photo you guys had, that was me when I was homeless. Yeah. So basically, okay, I got accepted to the New York Film Academy. I got my associate's degree in art, and I was really, really focused on being an actor. And I had about like 4 years of ballet experience under my belt on the indies.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to be a professional wrestler. I'm going to take this seriously. And unfortunately, you know, I didn't come from a wrestling family. I didn't know anything about wrestling. I could have been in an elevator with like Vince McMahon, and I would not have known who that was.
I hope you would now. You want to avoid being in an elevator with Vince McMahon.
Jesus! Oh my God! Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
God. Who else? Randy Orton.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
That was.
So you were. So what? So would you like go to the YMCA or go to like a gym and shower there or?
Yeah. So basically, guys, what Nathaniel and I both would do is, so we worked a shoot job that was night shift, and it was like a 10-hour night shift, and we would work all night, and then like at 7 a.m. At like 7 a.m. we'd drive to a Planet Fitness, and we would work out, and then we would shower there, brush our teeth and stuff, and then we would have to sleep in our vehicle. So we would, not that we were pro Planet Fitness or anything, but we plastered our vehicle with Planet Fitness stickers so we wouldn't get towed or kicked out of the parking lot.
Smart.
Yeah, because like in small towns, you could totally sleep in a Walmart parking lot or a Planet Fitness parking lot or even a gas station for a couple hours. No, in these big cities, you can't. Nope. So we tried to find shade, which was impossible, and it, of course, was hot. And being the poor kids that Nathaniel and I were, we couldn't afford gas to keep the vehicle running, but then our air conditioning wouldn't work anyway. So think like 90 degrees, 80 degrees. Ooh. The lows were lows, the highs were highs. You know, we were exposed to the elements, and we would sleep in our vehicle for a couple hours in the daytime, and then after sleeping, we would have to get up and go to class, and we would go and train. And then we like at Rikishi's, it was like more throughout the week. It was a nighttime class. So after class, like at 9 p.m., we'd have to go in LA traffic and then rush to work because we had to be at work like the latest was like 10. Yeah. So we would do that, and it was hard, but we were just
imagine.
We loved it though, because we were wanting to be professional. We didn't want to be these people that, and no shame to people who do it, but we didn't want to be these marks and tights. I know that's unpolitically correct, but we didn't want to be these people that were just wrestling fans that went to Hot Topic, threw on some spandex, and then got our training in on the indies or whatever. Like, we didn't want to do that like all these other people in the indies. We wanted to actually train, be professional, you know.
Well, there's some legitimacy to the grind. You know, you get some real credibility that way. You know, you weren't. I think it shapes you to have an appreciation for the business.
Well, there's that, but also there's an abuse to it too. Because like what I spoke on earlier, like right before I sacrificed and did the homeless part to train, I for 4 years I was a valet. Well, I was just that theater kid, you know. I didn't know anything about the business at all. I was learning on the fly, and the amount of abuse I faced, it was, you show up, there's a difference between paying your dues, and I respect the hell out of it, but then also being taken advantage of, being a kid that has to drive 5 hours one way out of your own gas money, show up at a show like 5 hours early, help set up, do the show, help tear down, and then drive home, and you didn't even get paid.
Oh,
you know?
no.
Oh, yeah. I did that for 4 years. 4 years of not hurting my body as a valet, like putting myself out there as a heel, like getting shoot heat from the fans, you know, and just like not even getting paid was insane. And then it one company took it too far and had me model for them for free. They would print out the photos, sell them to the fans, and make me stand there and sign them, and they would profit off of them, and I wouldn't get anything. I didn't get paid for wrestling for 4 years.
Let me ask you this. Now that you have that chainsaw, do they pay you a lot quicker? Are they more apt to pay you?
Yeah. Well, now that I have a resume and now that I have all these credentials, I get paid. It could be the resume, or it could be the chainsaw. Maybe
you show up with that chainsaw, I guarantee they're going to throw in a bonus. I'm like, whoa, you're great. Oh, fantastic.
They don't mess with me now. You're right.
Well, I think it's fantastic. And I do feel like, you know, things are, you know, divine intervention, what have you, things are aligning for you, because you're really getting into the business. You've got an incredible inspirational backstory, but you're also getting into business where women's wrestling is really, and you know, women in wrestling as well as women's wrestling is really rising. There's still a lot of work to go, you know, before it's completely.
Oh, but it's way better than when I got involved with the business. I mean, it's honestly, like when I got involved with the business, the women's matches, unfortunately, their entrances were longer than the actual match. And then also a lot of people would degrade women's matches and say that that's the bathroom break.
Yeah, or the popcorn match. Yeah.
So wrestling's definitely changed, and I'm so thankful for it. And I really, really, really am excited getting back involved with the business, because I feel like it's different, you know, like I'm different because I'm sick, but I want to be treated like an equal. You know, I don't want people to look at me just as the handicapped girl. I don't want people to look at me like, oh, we gotta treat her differently because she's sick or because she's crippled. And it's like, no. I want to be treated like everyone else. I want to be treated like a wrestler. But I do feel safer getting back involved with wrestling than when I left wrestling. When I was put in the wheelchair, it was before the Me Too movement. It was before girls were starting to get a little respected, but it's definitely different now, and I am excited.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. And I'm really excited for your future, and hopefully you will be covered in we got our next segment here, and I'd love for you I want you to stay with me for this next segment, and I want to hear your real reaction commentary to these. It's time for the women's wrestling news, and as I present the news, I'd love to get your commentary on the news as you hear it for the first time. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're spreading some positivity in women's wrestling. It's time for women's wrestling news. All right, women's wrestling news. This is our positivity here. And let's get to the first story. Mr. and Mrs. Parker, Ruby Soho and Angelo Parker were married this past weekend. They announcing it on Instagram. The real life couple from AEW. A lot of people noticed last year AEW had this. I don't know if you've heard of it, but they did like a backstage all access show. It was kind of like a reality behind the scenes, and Ruby Soho had a lot of segments, but lurking around in the background was Angelo. So they've been seeing each other for a while. Ruby Soho used to be one of the Riot Squad in WWE, and you can see the picture here on the bottom left with her Riot Squad friends Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan. And I think Sarah goes by Valhalla or something like that now. But and then there's Angelo with Johnny Hungy and Ruby. Ruby's already showing. She announced that she was pregnant recently on AEW television. But yeah, this is pretty cool, and that's one of the things interesting. Kat, maybe you can talk a little bit too about. I mean, not necessarily a marriage thing, but dating and relationships in the wrestling industry. What are the ups and downs of that?
Well, congratulations to the couple. I met her recently, and she seems really, really nice. So congratulations, that's awesome. Let's see, relationships. I'm single. Let's see. What do I think about them? I don't really date with in the business. Like as an actor, I always had this thing where I didn't date other actors. I didn't date at work. So I brought that into wrestling, and it could have got, well, thank you for saying that, but for the past 10 years, it could have got me kind of sort of heat, because it kind of like made me look like I had an ego, when it's like, why not? And it's like, I don't, what's the saying? Don't eat where you shit, or whatever.
Yeah. Don't eat where you poop. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, excuse my language. Oopsies.
But yeah, there's a balance, because on one hand,
it's great. I see the convenience, because one, it's convenient because they're around and they have the same schedule. But then also I see the convenience of they get it, because even as wrestling fans, you guys just feel like you don't get it. And then even as especially as regular civilians, you just don't get it. And so I get dating in the business, and I believe people should dating advice. I'm single. Should I give people dating advice? Was that the question?
I mean, hey, it's just, what are your thoughts on dating inside the industry? I guess both wrestling and acting, but you kind of summed it up. On one hand,
good, because like honestly, if you're for it, go for it. If you're not for it, don't do it. Also, just be a good person. Don't
be yourself.
Don't manipulate people. Don't gaslight people. Don't backstab people, like as friends, let alone as lovers. And honestly, just have fun and just live your life, like I believe in reincarnation, but you're only in this vessel for a short amount of time. And what the fuck am I looking at?
Now these are a bunch of they're a bunch of AEW women's wrestlers, and they all pose for a picture, and then Toni Storm, her gimmick is Timeless Toni Storm, where she's this timeless like AMC classic movies actress. In this picture, she's black and white.
I love that. I love that she's living up that gimmick. And as a theater nerd, I approve of that gimmick so hardcore. I definitely would have loved to have done that.
Maybe down the line.
Done that gimmick.
Maybe down the line. Second thing, today, it was actually released today on Women's Wrestling Talk. TK Trinidad interviewed the Renegade twins, and we got an update. Charlotte Renegade, one of the twins, who are former Mission Pro Tag Team Champions, who are now in Ring of Honor and AEW. They're pushing for AEW and Ring of Honor Women's Tag Championship belts. Nice. And Charlotte mysteriously has been absent from AEW and ROH television without much word about why. So she kind of touched on that a little bit in her interview. And she explained that there was an incident at the beginning of the year that put her out for about 6 months. But in that time, she actually learned how to become a certified barber in addition to supporting Robin and as Robin did singles career. This kind of goes similar to it's kind of that whole thing about never give up on your dream. Yeah, she still had plans on coming back, but now she's a certified barber, so she's got something else to back up if something were to happen with her career. And
So smart. Good for her.
yep, and they put Ring of Honor and AEW locker rooms on notice. Then when Charlotte returns, watch out. If you look at the picture on the bottom right, that's the Renegade Twins with a certain CEO, a former Sasha Banks, now Mercedes.
Oh, nice. I don't have my glasses on, but I see that now. Okay.
And rumors are that if Mercedes Moné needs backup while she's in AEW, it could be the Renegade Twins showing up. I highly recommend you catch the full interview with TK Trinidad and the Renegade Twins on Women's Wrestling Talks YouTube page. Just check them out. Very cool, very insightful. Renegade Twins are family at Mission Pro, so we wanted to give a shout out to them.
Yeah, best of luck, bro.
This is kind of in the vein. Not to get back to your chat about the CRPS, but Lou Fisto, legendary Lou Fisto, paved the way for women's wrestling. She's desperately needing financial assistance. She's in Canada, where although I know a lot of people talk about the healthcare system in Canada, but apparently it's not as peachy as it sounds. She's going through an illness that she needs money right away. She's selling a lot of her merch, worn gear, collectibles, even non-wrestling related collectibles. There's a GoFundMe, but that's definitely something to look into.
Yeah, definitely go show her support, guys.
Absolutely, and it's something too. Kind of along with your pain that you go through. Do you find that sometimes the wrestling community can be a benefit? I mean, I know sometimes there's trolls and there's all these opinion pages that say, oh, this crap, but do you find also that there's some positive support in the wrestling community, both fan base and wrestlers?
Yeah,
or is it still a bunch of carnies? Sorry.
No, it's fine. Yes and no. Like, unfortunately, there's good people and bad people in the world, and I've noticed that during my sickness, I have met the cruelest people you could ever meet. Like, down to people actually making posts, making fun of my feet.
Mm.
Like, I've seen people, even wrestlers, like, make fun of me and call me a non-wrestler, and it's sick and sad, but then also it's brought the most beautiful people in my life. And especially battling a sickness, it's hard to focus on the positive, and it does feel like the negative outweighs the positive. But this summer, I am, especially going through therapy and stuff, like, I have focused on more of the positive, and I know that this summer is going to be happy, and bringing awareness to my sickness is going to be good. And I do believe it, yay and nay, like, from fans to other wrestlers, I do believe that there is positivity, and I do believe that there are good people that want to help people, and then there also are bad people that want to try to, like, gatekeep and lie and manipulate and assassinate your character. But focus on the positive, guys. Focus on the good people that want to help you, and whether they just share your post or like your post, or even donate $20 to your charity. Like, there are good people out there, and you got to focus on that.
We all rise together. That's something I love about, like, Thunder Rosa and the people in Mission Pro Wrestling. A lot of people, the good people worth hanging out with, worth your time, are the ones that are of the same mindset that it's not just in it for them. They're here to lift everybody up together. And
that's refreshing to know. That's definitely refreshing to know. And I wish there were more people like that. There needs to be. And it's just once you find those people, make them a part of your tribe.
Yes, absolutely. And I think sometimes too, my grandfather had a great saying, it's the emptiest cans make the most noise. And I think a lot of times we really only hear the bad guys because they're the idiots going making all the you suck. You know, it's like you post a picture and 95% of the comments are all positive, you go girl, you're great, blah blah blah. Then you get that 5% of the trolls. What do we notice?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, and we can't. I
Yeah.
think that's a human trait we can't shake.
I
It's tough.
think I suffer with that, so I try not to pay attention to the comments. But I think the one thing that dumbfounds me is I'm sick. Like, why? Like,
Yeah,
I like it's not like I'm young, like some young healthy girl just grinding. Like I'm dead ass. Like I'm sick. Like
you're
why bully the sick girl? You know?
well. You know, Lufisto puts out this statement. She's trying to raise money for her severe illness, and people are being like these hosers. You know, she felt like she had to actually put out a statement. Stop asking me for nudes in exchange for money for my surgeries. And then
So
this clown, can I donate $500 for a video of you farting naked? It's like, don't be these hosers, you know?
that's
Don't
awful.
that that is that
That's
like
awful.
that I can't believe people would be that cruel.
No,
And
but like I don't mean to laugh, but farting naked? Are you fucking? Oh my god, it's
that's
awful.
that is like the most. I you have to laugh because it's like it's
I'm trying
dumbfounding.
not to.
It's dumbfounding that they're this sick people out there. That
Oh, no. She needs a surgery, and people are being trashed. Like
yeah,
like I said a second ago. Like I had this person that will remain nameless. Like just for no reason, go on a tyrant trying to assassinate my character a couple months ago, and I've never met him. Didn't I, to this day, like I literally can't even tell you his name. I think I know his first name, but not his last. And he followed me. I never followed him, and just all these lies and tyrant and making fun of my feet and my sickness. And it's like, who makes a post about making fun of someone's cancer? And then it just
I think it's broken people. I mean, we could definitely dive into that on Mental Health Mondays because I think the social media, while it can have its benefits, it allows really people that are really looking to cause harm to make themselves feel
Yeah.
better, and
Yeah,
it's broken
that's
people.
exactly what I thought. Like I
Yep.
thought this person was sick in the head and sick in the heart, and
Hmm.
I just no sold it. But I tried not to let it get to me. You know, make fun of me, assassinate my character, whatever. But attacking my sickness is weird.
I think that's very it's and Tommy sums it up. Good old Tommy. Now, by the way, Tommy is one of the good people. He says good people are awesome. Tommy is one of those people, despite what half the Mission Pro roster will kayfabe say about him. Off the record, Tommy's good people. You know, we're shoot. Tommy is awesome,
Nice.
and
I
he
can't
agree. I
wait
agree with you.
to see you, Tommy, and work with you guys. I'm very excited.
He's good people, and I again, I definitely want to. We'll talk off here. We'll set up for Mental Health Mondays. But I got to tell you, I know you've been so busy with so many things, so everything else that's going on. The
Oh my
chat, by the
gosh,
way,
yes,
saying good.
there's
Good.
so much to announce soon, guys. So many appearances. I'm so excited, and then in different companies, but baby steps also. Like
Yes,
my doctor's monitoring everything. We're trying to put my body into readmission. Like let's just just try. Let's just all we can do is try, and then bring awareness to my sickness, and then we can save lives. You know.
absolutely. Thoughts, prayers, and build awareness. Absolutely. And Tommy is saying this. Come to San Antonio a lot. He wants you frequently there. You are a good.
I will be making an announcement very soon, guys. But San Antonio, I lived there for just under a year, and as I trained under Funaki, I there's a couple companies that I really like, and you guys will be seeing me very soon.
Very cool. Now, I said that I kind of broke the shoot news that Tommy is actually a really good person, and Brian in the chat, Brian Cervantes in the chat says lies. I don't know. He doesn't agree with me about Tommy. I think that's, that might be a little bit of a kayfabe comment right there, but that's pretty funny.
It's fine.
I know you haven't been keeping up with a lot of, there's so much wrestling going on because your schedule is so jam-packed with everything you got going on. I'm excited about all these movies, your future, everything coming up.
Yeah, like, it's baby steps, like I signed on to like 5 films this year, and I want to go to, I'm really protecting my resume and my I'm not trying to big league or anything, but I genuinely want to protect my character, the Black Dahlia, the Chainsaw Queen, my brand.
Your brand, yes.
I have this outstanding resume. I have the theater background. I have the experience on the indies. I did the sacrifices, which you'll always be paying your dues until the day you die. But I want to just go to certain companies, professional companies, and I want the Chainsaw Queen. I mean, I have been the Chainsaw Queen since 2016. I was the first ever female to be the Chainsaw Queen and wield chainsaw. And one of my girlfriends, there's another Chainsaw Queen now, and she's my sister, and she's amazing. And hopefully, I'll link up with her soon. But
Chainsaw Sisters.
Yes. And so, like, honestly, queens support queens, And
yes.
when I found out someone had a similar gimmick to me, I loved that.
Yeah.
I thought that was so
That means great minds are thinking alike,
Yeah, but so I'm the first Black Dahlia since 2011. I think maybe one other person tried it in England, but no worries. So I'm the first Black Dahlia, and then the first Chainsaw Queen, and the first female to carry a chainsaw to the ring. So it's pretty sick.
That's gonna be awesome. There's someone named Evil Nate that says the Chainsaw Queen is legit. Thank you, Evil Nate.
Do you want to talk about the gimmick? Oh my God! Do you want to talk about Urban Legend?
We definitely can. I do want to get to our banger of the week match I want to tell you about, but
whatever. It's just your podcast too.
And that's what I want to lead to. Of course, you've got so much going on, but I want to tell you about this women's wrestling match, and someday maybe you might be in the banger of the week. But I don't really watch WWE as much as I watch AEW. But I got to tell you about this match they had. They're running this tournament called Queen and King of the Ring. It's like a tournament for the women's and men's divisions. And one of the matches they had, I want to tell everybody about. So let's get to our banger of the week.
Hold on to your Kulos Mission Pro fans. Lock on, it's the banger of the week.
All right, I'll go through this really quickly, but I just want to get
your time.
Reaction to it. The banger of the week. This past Monday on Monday Night Raw, it was Lyra Valkyria versus Io Sky, and this was one of the most tremendous matches. This is one of those things where women's wrestling is really being elevated, not just by it's no longer being put just in the popcorn spot, but you're actually raising the bar as far as ability. These have become two of my favorite wrestlers with just their in-ring prowess, because Io Sky did this like somersault kind of cartwheel, but Lyra was able to catch her and arm drag her and turn it into like a submission hold. And this is the kind of stuff that, back in the Attitude Era of WWE, it was like bra and panties matches, and wasn't until like Lita and when Trish kind of broke away from the TNA and started becoming more of an in-ring talent, and then you started, you had the women's revolution.
I definitely agree with that statement about Lita and Trish kind of leading the way, but also I also feel like there's room for both. You know,
Yes.
I
Yes.
love the bra and panties matches. I
Hmm.
love the sex that sells, but also, like, I mean, when a guy has a porn stash and he's like suave in a robe, like that's cool. And then I want
Yeah,
to see
Rick Rude.
an empowering female like that. But then also, not everyone has to be stereotypical sexualized. And then also
That's the key.
there could be this outstanding buff girl. There could be this outstanding
Hmm.
other girl. Like I
That's
love
why, like,
all
you
the
had like
gimmicks.
China was such a great groundbreaking persona. You
We
have,
need
yep,
China. We need Lena. Lita. We need Trish. We need
Jade
uh
Cargill and Thunder Rosa. You've got so many, and
yes.
you made a very good point. And I've asked this a lot of times before to other people, and that the Braun Payne's matches aren't necessarily to be looked down on. The major difference is its choice. If a woman wants to, or even a man, if you want to celebrate your body, then that's go for it. That's
Right.
totally fine. It's when it's like that's the only thing you will accept and you have to do it or you don't work. That,
That's the argument I have too. When
yeah,
it's just that's all the spot you have for a woman, that sucks. Or when it's typecasting and you need to be blonde with a push-up bra and this is all you got, sucks.
yeah.
But if this is, hey, this is my gimmick, this is what we consent and agreed to, and this is my bubbly, oh my god, this is who I am, love that.
Yeah, I think there's room, like you said, there's room for it,
It
but I
gets
think that
boring
that's
when everyone is like a luchador. It gets boring when everyone is the hot blonde with the push-up bra. It gets boring when everyone is doing like old school grappling style, southern
yeah.
style matches. There's a spot for that. There's a spot for that, and then there's a spot for that, and I love it. I love the diversity.
I love a good buffet, just
Yes.
like send me to Golden Corral. I want to have a little orange chicken with my steak and with my
Yeah.
rice pudding. You got to have something for everybody.
That's
This,
what wrestling is. That's you have all these characters, you have all these gimmicks, you have all these
yeah,
stories, and if everyone's doing the same match, it gets pretty boring.
absolutely. Imagine that would be like eating the same food every day. I don't think there's
Yeah.
anything I could eat. Even my
You're allowed
favorite
to have
foods.
your favorite though. You're allowed to like the high flyers. You're allowed to like
Yes.
the old school more storytelling. And there's the workers, and then there's the performers.
Yep.
Like do you want to see someone grapple, or do you want to see someone fly? Do you want to see someone uh, tell a story with just taking and giving two moves, or do you want to see a Broadway? Like
Even a squash match can have, if it's there's a story behind it, has
yes.
its thing. Like I remember Brody Lee squashed Cody Rhodes and everybody was surprised, but it played into the whole story. I think what the problem is when people have a favorite, but if anybody that doesn't like what their favorite is, then
Well,
there's something wrong
everyone's
with
so
them.
opinionated,
Yeah.
and as much of a blessing as social media is, it's a curse as well. So you're allowed to have your opinion, you're allowed to have your favorite, but don't shit on other people's Kool-Aid.
Yeah, exactly. Be cool to each other. Well, I want to close out with this one final thing from your Instagram. This really
Oh
touched me when I read this.
my
I
god. Yeah.
So just to, if you could read this out
I
loud, and
can't. I'm blind. You
all right,
gotta read it.
all right, I'll read this out
I'm
loud. This says,
trying.
"I am a warrior goddess," or should I do it in I'm going to try to do it in a feminine voice. I am a warrior goddess. No, that doesn't sound good.
No,
Um,
it's fine, babe.
I
Go
am a
on.
warrior goddess. The same energy that created the universe dwells in me. I am a vessel of divine feminine energy and can do all things. Okay, that is tremendous.
Yeah.
Is this something you wrote for yourself, or is this something you saw somewhere?
Oh my god, I can't believe you brought this up. Actually, there's a really, really spooky story behind it.
Ooh, okay.
How much time do we have?
Well, we probably need to wrap this up in about 5 minutes or less, but go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah. I can try to do it in 5. So I was at Scarefest last year. Like I mentioned earlier, I was the entourage of Leatherface, letting him
So
use my
cool.
chainsaw. And so he was telling me what's going to happen the following year. Like we were discussing different things and business things, and I'm really excited to announce that later on. But what's going to happen at Scarefest this year? This is going to be so cool.
So cool.
I can't say it yet though. But anyway, so I was just like, man, I felt a shift in the air, and I knew it was the beginning. I have CRPS. I'm getting back into the wrestling world. I'm entering the acting world. I'm in this horror community, and I was dealing with my imposter syndrome, and I was very overwhelmed. Right.
Mhm.
So I'll try to make this quick. So, oh my God. So there was a moment where I was really overwhelmed with I'm sick the rest of my life and I'm dying and I'm scared and holy shit. And then this woman like just appeared and she's like she said something like baby, and I looked up at her and she ran around because she was at one of the vendor tables and she grabbed me and she's like, oh, you're like, I'm sorry guys, this is like dead ass happened. I had Nathaniel there. He filmed some of it because he like documents everything. But she came around her vendor's table and she grabbed me and she's like, you're in pain. And I goosebumps, because
Wow.
I'm a spiritual person and I believe in, psychics and things like that. And she grabbed me. I've never met this woman before in my life, and she's like, and I don't want to get into it too much, but I was very suicidal, dealing with the pressure of getting back in wrestling and stuff, and being an imposter and stuff like that. So I didn't confide and tell anyone this, but so anyway, she grabbed me and she said, "Don't kill yourself. You're gonna save a lot of people."
Wow.
And I was like, "Huh?" And
That's awesome.
she's like, "I don't, yeah." And she's like, your story is gonna help so many people. And I just started breaking down and crying, and then I told her my whole entire story, and she's like, I know, baby. And after meeting her, we switched numbers, and she texted me that, and she said, say this to yourself. She's like, you're not an imposter, and you're gonna help a lot of people. Yeah.
That's
And I never
an
met her
incredible
before.
story.
I have these moments. Like, if you want to talk about spooky shit, or excuse my language, if you want to talk about spooky stuff, I'll end it on this note. When I was like 17 years old, it was before I got involved with wrestling. It was before I even graduated high school. I was just a young kid, never had my palm read before, never been, like, I was scared of that stuff, like witchcraft. Oh my gosh. And me and a couple of my girlfriends and my sister, we went to, get our palm read for $20. Why not? Every teenager is doing it. And the psychic that told my fortune, she said, who are you? And I was like, what? And she's like, you have the Cinderella story. She's like, I don't know who you are or what you're going to be, but she said, I see you helping people.
Wow.
And she's like, and then she like dramatically gasped, and I thought she was like putting on a show, but she's been very accurate about a lot of things. So let's just say that. I'm still in contact with her to this day. She's actually very viral. I could give her a shout out after we get off the show, but she said, waist down, waist down. She's like, I am so sorry, baby. She's like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's going to happen and there's no way to prevent it, but something's going to happen from the waist down. And she said, I'm so sorry,
You were
but
17. Wow.
I was 17 years old when she told me this. And I was just an actor. And I was like, what? It's like, I'm going to get in a car accident and break my legs. What's going on? You know, I didn't know. And she's like, but listen to this. You have the Cinderella story. She's like, you're destined to get over this. She said, get past whatever happens and claim your Cinderella story. And she said, I see you at bedside tables. Like, she's like, I don't know what this means, but she's like, you're going to help people. And you're
wow.
going to say, well, like the almost exact quote as
your friend,
the woman from and she's like, you're gonna save a lot of people. And these women, like,
they've never met.
And I'm like, why is this always happening to me? I'm the black sheep of the family. I'm inpolitically correct. Every other word is, I'm like a sailor. I cuss. I'm not some superhero, but yeah, I got this insane story, and it's like my destiny, and I keep on seeing my angel numbers, and I'm just like, I don't think I'm the right person, God.
Well,
why are you doing this? You could have chose someone so much better than for me to do this.
Well, that's the thing, is we don't make the decision because we don't know what's right around the corner.
Well, I think God chose wrong because there's someone prettier, smarter, richer, more mentally stable. Like, I don't know why God chose me, but here I am, and I'm bringing awareness to a sickness that hopefully we can find a cure to one day.
Well, fantastic. Now, Black Dahlia, the chainsaw queen, thank you so much. We're gonna tie out. Don't leave the stream, and when I shut it down, because I want to talk to you about some other things. And but definitely, let's make sure we've got your Instagram, your Twitter X, and your OnlyFans. It's all pretty easy. Black Dahlia 47. The only one is the X has got the underscore on it, right?
Yeah. There's a couple fake Instagrams out there, but yeah, that's my ex. Sorry, guys. If it wasn't for wrestling, I wouldn't have social media. I don't know what the heck I'm doing.
Most of us don't. I think that's the case.
Literally barely able to even set up a tripod and do this. Like, I'm literally like a joke, guys.
Well, thank you. So you're not a joke to us. This has been tremendous. I can't believe the time flew by like it did. But again, would love to have you back on. I'd love to have you on Mental Health Mondays. And let's continue to spread awareness. And let's hopefully maybe we'll see you sometime in June. And let's hope that here's to the future, whatever may be your destiny for the Black Dahlia.
Thanks,
and everybody, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, guys. So professional. Nothing but love.
We'll see you next week. Xenia will be back as my co-host, and Jordan Blade will be joining us as our special guest next week. So look forward to that. 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.